What's up, guys? Coming back at you with some more content. For all those people out there that are maybe into doing more of a shop type environment like I am, where you're making a lot of parts and a lot of pieces, I want to show you something cool about having this robotic welder. So yesterday, which would be Friday, I ran out of Chevy 2 relocation boxes, and I wanted to get the orders done and get them out. And so I went ahead, I had enough material left on the table, and I made 12 parts, so 6 pairs, and I wanted to go ahead and get them welded. So I still have to, I've got this aluminum block right here that goes in the center, and this aluminum block is what sets the width. My brother nails it with the press brake. It really is nice having a press brake that works this well. Like, it's just, it makes really, really nice parts. So we put this little guy in there, make sure that that fits nice. Set this against the, set that there. Set that like so. And then you just go ahead and put 4 little corner tacks on it with the TIG. I'm going to go ahead and just tack this guy up off camera, and then I'm just going to walk into the other room and go fire up the robot and put this part on the fixture where it's already set, it's already been programmed to. I'm going to start it up from 0 and just turn it on, and we're going to weld this thing up. I think you'll be really impressed how much, what a time saver this thing could really be. Normally the machine would just be on. So you see I got this many over here to do. Normally the machine would just be on, and you would just walk over there, pick the program, put your fixture where you need it to be, and go. Yeah, so like I was saying earlier, normally this thing would just be on. So we just leave it on during the week because we make lots of parts with it, or try to make lots of parts with it. Here's this really easy, nothing crazy fixture. Let's see if we can get zoomed in on it. Come on. There it is. So this bracket guy right here, pull the bolt back out. Just like that. Got a backstop there and a stop there. The bolt hole on the side lines that up. Slide the aluminum guy back in the middle. It's ready to go. I don't even tighten it any more than that. It's flat there. It's against that corner. It's fixtured up. It's ready to go. Okay, well, I got the robot booted up. I got my program in. It's called Chevy 2 front leaf spring box, 045 wire. I've got simulate on because I don't want it to weld right now because I want to show you what's going on. And then I got this toggle, the LED, so it's got a light on so you can see what's going on. Cool little feature, right? And so then we're going to go over here. We're going to grab. So we've got this teach right there. It says toggle teach mode. Come on, gimbal. Oh my gosh. Right, so toggle teach, so we're gonna hit, ding, turn the teach on. So something that about robotic welding is it needs to know how far away the wire is, right? It needs to know this distance. I'm gonna call it Z just because it makes somewhat sense if you're used to machining. So it's a height, and so I'm gonna feed a little extra wire out right there. Grab this little guy right here. Thank you, Nick, 5/8 of an inch little 3D printed unit. And so come over, put it against there, trim. I left it a tiny bit long because I want it to actually touch when it goes around. And then we're going to go over here, and we're going to put our robot stuff away, and we're going to hit play. It's not going to weld. You hear it going tick, 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 tick. Hear the tick, 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 tick noise. So what it's doing is moving the wire in and out, and it's establishing that height. So we're making sure that the distance is proper as it goes all the way around. So you can see all the goodness. And this thing, I was just chilling here, turned it on. You see here that the height is, it's so close. Oh, now it's touching again. So this is how you don't break the wire. So now we know Our program looks great. And I didn't do anything. I didn't touch anything. This is just the program as it was written. We put some time and effort into it, making sure it was right. It does some cool slow down, speed up stuff in this program. And so there you go. So maybe we'll just go ahead and run it. Let me get a helmet and let's do this. I've got this ridiculous situation going on right here. Hopefully I can block out the light and this will work better. So let's give it a shot. Hopefully. I don't know if it's working or not. You hear it slow down around that corner, which is a big deal to make it so it works. So you have like a limitation for how fast you can rotate the robotic arm. And so you have a travel speed programmed and it's going around that radius. And we were just having where it was piling up way too much material. And so slow that guy down, make some adjustments. Got a little funny spot right there, which is interesting. There we go. What's interesting is it made that little chirpy noise, but it's perfect. So, which is, part of the process, part of the deal. So you can see that thing looks awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Yeah, so getting into this whole robotic welding thing, buying this THG automation, this little plug for you guys. They definitely give you the confidence to be able to make this thing work. And it was a little bit like sketchy getting into it first, but now that I've had it for a little while and now that we make parts with it, man, it's really, really nice. And I can't lie, I almost get used to how perfectly consistent it is and how good you can make things. And when you're really like staring through the hood, man, you can really see that arc punch down in and grab a hold of that parent material and then put the wire in there. And I mean, it looks fantastic. I mean, you can just see there's just not any it's not any spatter or anything. Like, it just looks awesome. So ruined my new gloves, but you can see, I mean, it's just a really nice part. And so the other thing that allowed us to do, I know that I did a video about this, but I made another 100 of these things too. So I think we've made 350 of those things. Like, it's so many parts that it would consume our entire shop for a week is what it would, something along those lines. And that just halts production, makes it so we can't make race car parts, make it so we can't work on stuff that we want to work on. But those types of jobs are really hard to pass by when it's that type of part and you can make a lot of them and you get the fixture set up and you know what you got going on. Yeah, I mean, this tool really augments our processes and really helps with what we got going on. So I strongly recommend it if you guys are going to, have any other questions or whatever. Like, I mean, obviously you need to make a lot of parts. If you're going to make 5, this would be the worst purchase of all time. Unless it was like 5 rocket ships and there was, 1,000 hours of welding each or something like that, right? Like, I say rocket ship because SpaceX uses these cobots as well. So, yeah. So like I said, you're going to make 5 spring plates, don't buy a robot. If you're going to make 5,000 spring plates, or even you're going to make 500 now and make 500 next week or 500 in 3 months, get a robot. So it really helps to augment production. So that's it. Here's to another long-winded explanation about stuff. But yeah, this stuff's cool. I like sharing the info, and that part, man, I've got those other ones. I'll tack those guys up and I'll be done with those in 10 minutes instead of 2 hours. So yeah, till next time, guys, enjoy.